So days off, we all leave here together and go do something in the city. The market is crazy. It's so squished. There's so many people and you just want to be like, stop talking to me, I don't want that. But it's really fun. Like there's so many things to look at and see. It's just sometimes overwhelming when everyone's yelling at you.
7 weeks, 3 countries, 2 cameras, 1 goal. We've set out on a journey to capture the day in, day out sights, sounds, and experiences of living and working in cross-cultural ministry today. Come with us as we meet people responding to God's call on their lives and check out the incredible places it's taken them to.
Julio, ¿estás listo? The 6 of us girls from Trek, the first 3 months when they were in language school, we were all separated into 3 different churches. And so on weekends when we have nothing to do, we go back and stay with them and hang out, and it's a lot of fun. It's like my favorite part of the week. So now we're going for our 2-hour bus ride. 3 buses. It takes about 2 hours to get to our church, the Cantera. We went to this family that has kind of adopted us as children in their family. And it was really nice because we hadn't seen them in about 4 weeks because we were gone with the Pommy and stuff like that. So it was really good to see some familiar faces and to have that homey feel again and stuff. Oh, so good. It's the best pizza. Seriously, in Guadalajara right here.
So our team actually split up. JM went to one location with some of the girls, and we went to another location with Danielle and Tessa. The girls were more comfortable there than anywhere else in Mexico. We got to experience them in that as well as working alongside their church, which was a lot of fun. We got to go do this outreach with them.
Yeah, this Saturday we went to Coli, and it's a really cool part of Guadalajara. And we just play with the kids, different games, spend time with them, talking with them, or whatever.
I took photographs of these entryways to each one of these kind of slum locations, and they didn't look like doors. They looked like just like someone piled up a bunch of junk and spray painted a number on it. And you see these kids that are just like, that's where they come from. They played soccer and played with the girls and then did a Bible story under a big tree and did kind of a drama.
I think if you are a follower of Christ, you'll just like overflow with this joy to tell people who Jesus is, and you'll want to proclaim the gospel wherever you are.
Our church on Saturday mornings has a soccer training camp. The first week they started off with 1, second week they had 3 kids show up, and now they're up to almost 40 kids, which is totally awesome, and they've been doing it for about 6-7 weeks now. And so they have about an hour and a half practice where they teach the kids how to kick the balls and stuff like that, and then after they have about a half an hour to 45-minute Bible teaching, which is really, really awesome.
All these kids aren't actually part of a church, so they're using soccer as a tool to tell people about Jesus. They wouldn't hear him otherwise.
Saturday evening, the youth of the church, we all piled into the back of the pastor's U-Haul and crossed the neighborhood to another part of the city. And we met up with another church's youth group, and we had a giant worship service, and then game night up on the roof of the church building. And it was really cool to see how Kim was able to just jump right into everything that was going on.
When you do trek, you kind of just have to keep your life up for 10 months. It's really hard to leave family behind. Personally, like, I had to miss out on my sister, who's my best friend, having a baby, and family members passing away, and that's part of the sacrifice. And sacrifice is definitely one of the hardest things, but it's totally worth it, because to see God's work happening through the people that you just go and give a hug to, and they just want to know why you're so happy, or things like that, it gives you the encouragement and the push you need to keep going.
Then the next day we're at church. It was a crazy experience. I've never seen such a vibrant church. They had a team of people dancing to worship God.
Like, there were people with flags and tambourines in front. It's just something that I've never seen before.
It's totally different for me, and so the first time it was for me a bit, okay, they do it, but I don't have to do it. It was a really interesting time for me where I learned it is not wrong when somebody else lives or do something in a different way.
And then from there, it was Jam's birthday, and so we decided to go to a piñata store.
So they have whole stores dedicated to buying piñatas. Crazy. We were able to find a Darth Vader piñata, which is amazing because John Mark loves Star Wars.
The church that Kim and Aaron attend is a sister church of Casa de Paz, the church that Phil and Celeste were at.
On Sunday, we went to church, and it was our church's 2nd year anniversary, so we got to celebrate 2 years. It's a baby church, and it's growing lots and lots and lots.
The whole church was there. It was a packed house, and they had a big cake and a huge potluck.
It's a church that I go to in Saskatoon. I've gone there my entire life, but I've always gone by myself, and I don't have friends or like family at church. I just walk in and walk out. But in our church here, it's so small that within the first 2 weeks, I'd been in every home of every family in the church for a meal.
To be completely accepted into a family like that, it makes you feel at home.
And it just so happens that that day is also my birthday. I didn't know it, but that morning Kim had gone out and bought a cake. And so we had a massive cake for the church and a small cake for me, and the small cake for me went right into my face. Because evidently in Mexico, that's what they do on your birthday.
Mordida!
I'm totally Mexican in that way. Yeah, you gotta get the face totally into the cake. That's totally awesome.
And that wasn't even the end of my birthday celebration. When I got back to the Matthew Training Center, I was surprised again.
When Jam wasn't looking, Celeste made his favorite dessert and smashed it in his face. And then we took him out to the piñata, and he busted it open and kissed it, and it was great.
Alas, poor Vader. I knew him well.
I'm losing my mind. So wie andere Männer. So wie andere Männer. I don't know what that means. I'm losing it. Never in my life did I think I'd be making pierogies in Mexico. And 400 of them. He's from
Mi familia ama la papa.
My family loves the potato.
Better stop frozen. Love the potatoes.
Oh yeah, I love it.
This has been my worst experience since being in Mexico.
You said it was the best day ever.
It changed.
I think that God really is a God of community and a God of unity. At the Matthew Training Center, they're bringing that together. They're bringing that unity that we desperately, desperately need.
Welcome into the kitchen.
Yesterday we were in a worship time, and we were singing about the nations worshiping God. And we are going to be in heaven someday where every nation, tribe, people group will be represented. And we were just tasting a little bit of that yesterday. And Jesus has such a love for the nations and wants to bring people from every nation to himself.
When I think back to the Matthew Training Center, it will be a memory of the celebration of the differences that make us unique, and yet the reality that we're all God's children. Next time on This Is Why We Go.
I didn't really know what to expect when I came into France. I was thinking old buildings and snails and frogs' legs and all these stereotypes. Baguettes, berets.
The city Paris was just packed with immigrants and people, and they're pretty alone, so they're searching for friends, they're searching for community.